I mean, let's face it. This expert culture has completely deteriorated. It takes nothing to become an expert anymore. It doesn't take years of study. It doesn't take certifications. It doesn't take degrees. It doesn't take anything. Let's face it, doctors are no longer experts. But I tell you how to become an expert in this new era in this episode.
Welcome to the Licensed to Live show, where professionals, doctors, champions, VIPs, attorneys, and those in public office discover strategies that help you restart and gain what is lost when you find yourself accused. If another has doubted your integrity, questioned your credentials, or caused your actions to come under scrutiny, you are in the right place. On the other hand, if you have never felt the knot in the pit of your stomach when legal papers are served, the heartbreak of disappointing your family when the lock clicks shut on handcuffs, or had to appear before a board of review, then be aware, the longer you serve, the more likely you are to find yourself under the microscope of those who judge. Prepare yourself for this uncomfortable possibility. Now, here's your host, Dr. Jarrett Patton.
Welcome to Licensed to Live. So happy that you guys are joining us today. We are talking about expert and expertise today because, well, everybody seems to be an expert now, and you don't become an expert the way you used to become an expert, the way you used to go to school, get degrees, study, get all these other types of certifications that lead to your expertise, let alone all the years you practice your craft. This is no longer valid. And we're going to get into the meat of this discussion right after we finish thanking our sponsors.
Smells good. EH3 coffee. EH3 coffee. Premium organic. Nothing better than waking up. EH3 in your cup. Premium organic. EH3 coffee. Nothing better than in the middle of your day. EH3 coffee. Premium organic. EH3 coffee.
Hey, this is Dr. Jarrett Patton. Do you need more positivity in your life? No matter what part of your life you want to transform, positive affirmations can help you achieve your goals. But sometimes making permanent changes can be difficult. Designed with you in mind, Licensed to Live. Daily affirmations to rebuild your life will inspire and equip you to become the best version of yourself. Licensed to Live. Daily affirmations to rebuild your life will set you on the path to changing your mindset, beliefs, speech, and ultimately your actions. You can change your life now by getting your copy at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, your finer book retails, or licensedtolive.com. That's licensedtolive.com.
This is Super Bowl champion Mike Logan, and you are listening to Licensed to Live.
Today's affirmation is, I have my dream job. I have my dream job. Think about that one because, well, I know some of you guys are saying, well, that is absolutely false. I don't have my dream job. Well, this is what you're here listening to this show because you're trying to work yourself into that dream job. So don't give up on this affirmation quite yet and just totally write it off. Let's take some steps to get your dream job in effect. And I have another exciting announcement just to let you guys know what is going on in July, in the summertime, in Philadelphia. Once again, it is going to be Licensed to Live 2022. We are coming back live and in person in Philadelphia, July 8th, 9th, and 10th. Mark those dates on your calendar, July 8th, 9th, and 10th. We are having a 3 day conference with a VIP day. So make sure you guys are paying attention to all of the announcements across all my social media, as the early bird sales will start soon. But block those dates now because, hey, head to Philadelphia in the summer. Come to License to Live. We will have a blast and we'll get that career headed to that next level. Now, we're here to talk about expertise and this new expert culture that we're living in, and we see it play out day by day by day. Now, it used to be that people had to study, people had to be endorsed, people had to get official credentials to become an expert. But this is not the culture that we're living in right now. We are living in a culture where basically all you have to do is have an opinion, and then you can pose yourself as an expert. Let's look at a couple of different examples. Let's look at teachers, for instance. Teachers are expert educators. They have gone to school, they have gone training, they have had lots of information placed inside of their brains to help them understand how children learn or adults learn and how to best achieve those goals. So this is great. So why wouldn't we listen to our teachers and our educators when we're talking about something in the educational fields? And this has been playing out in school board meetings all across America. Now, what we have are people showing up at meetings. They don't have any advanced educational experience or credentialing for the most part. They simply are parents. And a lot of these parents show up and have strong opinions. And their opinions may be based in truth. They may be based in false. They may be some crazy narrative that they're following in their head, but they want to dictate how our children learn in the schools. So why would we take that power away from the people who are charged with educating our youth or educating our young adults? Why would we take that power away? Well, simply because we have an opinion and we feel that we are more expert simply as a parent that has a kid going to a school than people who have trained and learned and continue to learn and study about education. So people say, I don't want my kid learning about race. I don't want my kid learning about homosexuals. I don't think that kids need to learn about math. They may not need to know about science. Or let's talk about history and what our kids should know or shouldn't know about history. All of these things are based out of opinion for the large part, but it's this opinion that is shaping the face of education around the United States. It's not based on expert consensus anymore. And if the educational experience is not enough for you, think about medicine. Think about hospitals. Think about healthcare and how the doctor now has been devalued in all of this. Yes, many of you out there have gone to school for 4 years, 8 years, 12 years. We start tacking on training programs and additional expertise and certifications. Just the studying alone has been 15 years, but pops Dr. Google on the scene, pops some narratives that aren't necessarily based in science. And now everybody is an expert. And this means that people who should be in charge of healthcare, which tend to be scientists and physicians, now we have other people who have less expertise, but perhaps a louder voice that are telling people what to do. And this really was highlighted in pandemic. Things that should have been based in science and understanding of modern day research and real-time research suddenly got discounted and discredited and thrown away because people simply don't want to believe it. They don't think it's there, or they are a self-proclaimed expert. And this is the culture in which we're dealing with. So how is anybody to survive in this kind of environment where people simply have an opinion and they feel like their opinion is enough to make them expert, and they will put together some sort of argument that doesn't necessarily make sense to any of the people that are true experts. So I am talking to you today about how to become an expert in this new culture. Many of you guys know that I display awards and degrees and all these types of things in my office because, well, that's what people used to want to see. Oh, where did you attend a medical school? Where did you go to your residency? Oh, this is great news. Where'd you go to college? All of these things that led me to become a physician, well, they don't matter so much anymore. And there's some other things that you can do to help you become an expert in your field, regardless of all these countless certifications, degrees, and whatnot you have. Let's talk about things you can do today. Well, the first thing I love to talk about is writing a book. Many of you have written things all of your life, and particularly if you have advanced degrees, you have been in school for a long time and you have been writing things for a long time. So writing becomes one of your skills, whether you realize it or not, because written communication is the main way that we are educated. And it's this written information that you have done time and time and time again that you can assimilate in the form of a book and share your expertise. You share your viewpoint, you may share some stories, and you share your expertise. And by creating a book, this is something that will lead to your expertise. That's something that people may value higher than your degrees. They may value that higher than a residency or advanced training or internships that you may have done in your field. Writing a book can trump all of that. And of course, there's different levels of book. So many of you guys are thinking about professional, peer-reviewed books that take years to write, have dozens of authors, and eventually comes out to press. And that is a framework of which we do a lot of our learning and education based on these books. Many of us have seen these 1,000-page books or books that come in volumes that you're responsible for reading at some point in your life for your training. And that ends up being your concept of what a book is. But a book doesn't have to be that complicated. It certainly can. And I have clients that have written books that are texts in their industry. So yes, you can write a textbook if you like to do that. However, you don't have to write a textbook. You can write a storybook that tells more of your experience and why people should listen to you as an expert. Now, lucky for you, all you have to do is check the show notes because I do have a free course about how to write your first book, and we write it in a very quick way. And you can get that, and I'll leave the free version out there for you guys to consume. It won't be out for very much longer because I have built another course around authorship and writing a book that will be a paid course. So make sure you get all the nuggets and jewels out of this free course. Simply go to the show notes, click sign up, and it's yours. And you can see how to write a book very quickly, very effectively. And yes, authorship makes you more of an expert today than you were yesterday. So writing that book can make a big difference in your life. There are other things that can highlight you as an expert. And another tactic that I love to do is using the media to highlight my expertise. And I have made media appearances on national syndicated radio, on television, in traditional press like newspapers, and even new media like blogs, podcasts, and journals, magazines, that online magazines, that is, print magazines as well. However, I have taken another step in my career by sharing my expertise with the press. The press is always out there looking for suggestions. In fact, you couldn't imagine. I mean, I've probably amassed, I know it's over 150 articles in the media, both print media and online media. And if you have interest in sharing your expertise in that way, there's a simple process in which you can use. It's one that I usually only give this to my clients, but I'll give it to you. If you guys have listened to this much of the show, you guys are in for a pearl. Help a reporter out. Heyro. You can help a reporter out, and you sign up for that service, and you will hear from dozens of reporters all across the country, sometimes internationally, who are looking for experts and stories. And so you can show your expertise by helping these journalists out. And not only do you help them with print and online work, this can lead to radio opportunities. This can lead to television opportunities. And you can see a lot of the ones that I've participated in. Simply go to my media page at drjarrett.com, and you will see some of my latest television appearances and other media appearances. And this is a secondary way of becoming an expert. Simply when people see you on television, they hear you on radio, they see you in the press, they say, well, if the press endorses them, that's got to be better than Case Western Reserve University or Xavier University of Louisiana or New York University, which happen to be all the universities in which I've had formal training. But somehow a journalist writing an online blog can further endorse you and make you more of an expert. And that's particularly helpful in today's expert culture, where everybody is an expert and you don't even have to have credentials. And then finally, a third tip for you to use if you want to become more of an expert in a culture where doctors aren't experts anymore. That's been taken away from us. You can look for other forms of expert validation. And this can come in the way of awards. I remember in 2019 when I won Physician of the Year award and was presented this at Jackson State University at their Martin Luther King Jr. Ceremonies. I had no idea that I was going to win this award. I didn't even know that I was entered to win this award. I simply was told that, hey, can you come to this award ceremony? We have nominated you and you are the winner of the Physician of the Year award. And that's a big time award. That's something I'm pretty proud of. And I probably don't talk about it nearly as much as I should, but awards are another way that you can show recognition. And I keep awards on my bookcase, on my wall. And the longer you work, and you're working hard, you will tend to get more awards. You guys even know that I won Author of the Year for my first License to Live book. Again, an award I wasn't looking for, but awards are another way that you can have validation. So getting awards in almost anything is something that you should brag about. And a lot of us are too humble and, oh, shucks, I'm just doing my job or, oh, this is just, something great for doing what I should be doing. But awards aren't given to everybody. This is not Little League Baseball where, despite going 0-18 and not scoring a single home run during the entire season, everybody gets a championship trophy at the end. We are talking real life, folks. People don't get awards every day. So if you have been fortunate enough to get an award, take a moment, show some gratitude, give thanks, and then go ahead and tell people about it. It's okay to let them know that you had, something that made you more of an expert because you've won an award. And then finally, you may want to look for other things that may give you external validation. And this is a bonus, really, because this is a bonus that just happened in my life very recently. because I was invited to the Forbes Coaches Council, which is, Forbes is a big time magazine, and they have a whole online platform full of resources. And as a result, I will be contributing and have contributed to articles in Forbes already. And sometimes you have to team up with another well-known entity to get some sort of external validation upon your work. Yes, external validation upon your work. And so I wish we weren't living in this. And I wish those degrees tacked up on the wall behind me were simply enough to make the case that I am a valid person and physician and speaker and author and all of those things. But we're living in a time where that is simply not the case. And I want you to understand that you need to do several different things if you want to be viewed as an expert in your field. 1, you can write a book. 2, make more media appearances. And 3, look for other forms of validation externally, and they can come in the way of awards or even an elite group. And that's why I thought that joining the Forbes Business Council would be an elite group of peers, and many of them are coaches, but it's a different level of performance. And I wanted to be sure that I had that as a part of my arsenal so that I am also seen as an expert coach, and the lives that I've changed through my coaching programs can speak on their own, but people don't always talk to the people that have had great experiences. They only have a website to look at, or maybe they did see a clip of you on the news, or maybe there was something else about you that attracted them in your social media. But it always comes back to you at the end of the day and the things that you have to do. So I didn't make this new expert culture. I wish those degrees on the wall were just fine for me to say, yes, he is an expert. But in 2022, that is no longer the case because everybody feels they are an expert. So despite the years of training, the credentials, and everything you have done to this point to get where you are today, you still have to do a little bit more. And of course, I'm here to help you. And you can follow some of the things that I do on social media. And I hang in LinkedIn and I give the most information there. And certainly as my Forbes articles come out, you'll be seeing them there as well. But reach out at any time. Make an appointment with me, timewithdrjarrett.com, and we will make you the expert you deserve to be. See you next time.
No matter how disheartening the moment of accusation sounds, how deep the pain of immobilization stabs, or how bleak your future looks, no one can take away your license to live. Keep Dr. Jarrett's expertise handy and unlock your future. Go to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or another podcast player and subscribe right now to Licensed to Live. See you next time.